Did you know that a bolt of lightning can measure up to 3 million volts and it lasts less than 1 second? Yes, that's the power of electricity. Now you might be thinking, what on earth is electricity? Well, to put it simply, electricity is a form of energy that we use to power all sorts of things, from the tiny light in your fridge to the massive machines in factories. It's like the lifeblood of our modern world. And guess what? It's not just humans who use electricity, it's also found in nature. Take lightning, for example. When a lightning bolt strikes, it's actually a powerful electrical discharge happening right before our eyes. It's Mother Nature's own light show, and it's all thanks to electricity. Electricity plays a crucial role in our lives. Without it, we wouldn't be able to do most of the things we do every day. Now that's quite shocking, isn't it? Let's delve deeper into how this amazing force works. Imagine a city full of tiny invisible citizens called electrons. They're always on the move, and that's what we call electricity. Now, these electrons are a bit like the water in a river. The flow of water, like the flow of electrons, is determined by how much energy is pushing it along. In the case of water, it's gravity, pulling it down from the mountains to the sea. For electrons, it's voltage, a kind of electric pressure that pushes them along wires. Speaking of wires, you can think of them as the riverbed. Just as a wide, deep river can carry a lot of water, a thick wire can carry a lot of electrons. But if the riverbed is narrow and shallow, it can't carry as much water. The same applies to a thin wire, which can't carry as many electrons. This is what we call resistance. Now imagine a water wheel in the river. The flowing water turns the wheel, right? That's a lot like how an electric motor works. The flowing electrons or current spin a magnet inside the motor, and that's what makes your toys move. And just like you can store water in a dam for later use, you can also store electricity in a battery. The battery is like a tiny dam, holding back a flood of electrons until you need them to power your flashlight or remote control car. But here's a fun fact. Not all electrons move at the same speed. Some are slowpokes, while others are speedy racers. But no matter their speed, they all work together to create the electricity that powers our world. So just as a community needs its citizens to function, our modern world needs these tiny electrons to light up our homes, power our devices, and make our lives easier and more fun. So remember, electricity is all about the journey of these tiny electrons. So how do we get these electrons moving? That's where the magic of power plants comes in. Imagine the power plants as gigantic playgrounds where electrons get their groove on. Now there are different types of playgrounds, each with its own unique way of getting the electrons excited. First up, we have solar power plants. Picture a billion tiny sunbathers, also known as solar panels, catching rays all day. These rays are made of sunlight, which is full of energy. When the sunlight hits the panels, it gets the electrons in there moving, creating electricity. It's like a dance party kicked off by the sun. Next, we have wind power plants. Think of a field of giant pinwheels, or wind turbines, spinning in the breeze. As the wind blows, it spins the turbines, which gets the electrons inside moving. It's as if the wind is whispering sweet nothings to the electrons, enticing them to dance. Then there's hydropower. Picture a massive water slide where water flows down and spins a turbine. This motion gets the electrons moving. It's like the electrons are at a water park, and the rush of the water sends them sliding and swirling. Now, let's talk about thermal power. Here, heat is used to boil water into steam. This steam then spins a turbine, which gets the electrons moving. It's like the electrons are in a hot sauna, and the steam gets them all worked up and moving around. Finally, we have nuclear power plants. Here, atoms are split apart to release energy. This energy heats water into steam, which spins a turbine and gets the electrons moving. It's like a high-energy game of tag, where the split atoms are it, and the energy they release sends the electrons scurrying. From the warmth of the sun to the force of the wind, nature gives us many ways to kickstart our electron party. Now that we've generated electricity, how does it reach our homes and power our devices, you might ask? Well, buckle up because we're about to embark on an electrifying journey. Just like a river flowing from its source to the sea, electricity follows a path called a circuit from the power stations to your home. But this is no ordinary journey. It's a high-speed, high-voltage adventure. First stop, the power station. This is where the magic begins. The electricity generated here is very high voltage, like a super strong team of horses. But this strong team needs to be controlled for safe travel, and that's where transformers come in. Transformers are like the coaches of our team, taming the high-voltage electricity and making it safe to travel along power lines. Next, our tamed electricity embarks on a thrilling ride along power lines. These are the highways of electricity, stretching across cities, through fields, over mountains and under seas. Just think of it right now, there are invisible rivers of electricity flowing all around us. Now remember our transformers? They're not done yet. Before electricity can enter our homes, it needs another transformation. This time it's transformed from a high voltage to a low voltage, safe enough to power all our devices. Finally, the electricity reaches our homes. It's here that it powers our lights, our fridges, our TVs, our computers, and so much more. Each device is like a stop along the electricity's journey, each requiring a specific amount of electricity to function. When we switch on a device, we're opening a gate, allowing electricity to flow into it. And when we switch it off, we're closing the gate, stopping the flow of electricity. And that's the fantastic journey of electricity, from the power station through transformers and power lines, to our homes and devices. It's an amazing voyage happening right now, all around us. Just like that, the electrons find their way to our homes, lighting up our lives. So, what does the future hold for electricity? Well, let's journey into the exciting world of tomorrow, a world that's going to be even more electrifying than today. We're talking about a future where we harness the power of nature to generate electricity in a clean, sustainable way. Yes, we're talking about renewable energy sources. Think about the sun, our very own star. It provides us with light and warmth every day. But did you know it can also provide us with electricity? Solar power, the process of converting sunlight into electricity, is becoming more efficient and affordable. It's like having a mini power plant right on our rooftops. And it's not just the sun. The wind too is a powerful source of electricity. Giant wind turbines, spinning like tops in the breeze, can generate enough electricity to power entire towns. And the best part? Wind is free and it never runs out. Now let's take a detour and talk about electric vehicles. Imagine a world with no noisy, smoky cars, just smooth, silent electric ones. Electric vehicles, or EVs as they're called, are not just a thing of the future. They're here, right now, and they're getting better and more affordable every day. And who knows? In the future, we might even see electric planes. But the future of electricity doesn't stop there. We're also looking at innovative technologies like smart grids that can distribute electricity more efficiently, and high-capacity batteries that can store electricity for use when the sun isn't shining or the wind isn't blowing. The possibilities are endless, and they're all powered by electricity. From the gadgets we use, to the cars we drive, to the homes we live in, electricity is going to play an even bigger role in our lives. With new innovations around every corner, the future of electricity looks bright indeed. Now let's see if you've been paying attention. It's quiz time. Get set, folks, because it's time to put your thinking caps on. Here's question number 1. Can you tell me, in your own words, what is electricity? Remember, we're looking for the simplest explanation you can think of. Alright, moving on to question number 2. We've talked about how electricity is generated, but can you recall how it's done? Think back to the ways we've discussed. Can you name at least one? And last but not least, question number 3. How does electricity make the journey from the power station all the way to our homes and businesses? It's quite a trip, isn't it? There you have it, folks. 3 questions to test what you've learned today. Great job, everyone. Keep exploring, keep learning, and remember, the world of electricity is as fascinating as it is important.